Fox Sports.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Tigers ace Justin Verlander has done his best work in the month of May, and 2 starts into this month, he has 2 victories. He'll try and make it 3 straight on a cloudy, overcast day here at Comerica Park. We welcome you inside. It's the final game of this 4-game series featuring the New York Yankees and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us. A doubleheader split yesterday means the Tigers now have won 2 of the first 3 games in the series, and Ron a chance to win this series today with their ace on the mound, Justin Verlander. This is going to be a great pitching matchup. We'll start with JV.
Well, first and foremost, if Verlander goes out there this afternoon the same way that he has gone about his business his last couple of starts, one against the Angels, the other against the Cleveland Indians, it's going to be a very good day. He's been first pitch strikes on just about every single hitter that goes to the dish. Then when you've got overpowering fastballs anywhere from 95 to 100 miles an hour, and your secondary pitches are plus pitches as well, that would be the curveball and the changeup. It usually presents a very long afternoon for most hitters. But this Yankees team is a very talented bunch, and no doubt JV will need to continue to post those types of May numbers.
All right, it's not going to be easy for the Tigers offense either, though. CC Sabathia will get the call for the New York Yankees. Sabathia, all he's done is once is getting the big league level. Now, when you talk about CC, he was 11-2 after the All-Star break last year. It looks like he's continuing that this year.
Well, he's a big game pitcher, and usually he does have very strong second halves, but for whatever reason, he's off to a very good start this year. When they signed him to that mega deal before the season started last year as a free agent, all he has done is won a world championship and really pitched them to that championship.
All right, we'll try and dodge the raindrops today. Final game of the series. And with more in our coverage this afternoon, let's send it back to the Call Sam studios now. Here's Trevor Thompson. Is brought to you by Comerica Bank, strength and stability since 1849. And by Comcast. Call 1-800-COMCAST for TV, phone, and internet. Well, if Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow. Get a free small order of curly fries. You can find a copy of the box score in your local newspaper or at the Tigers page at foxsportsdetroit.com. Chilly afternoon here at the ballpark. There is no rain right now. That's the good news. It was raining very hard earlier today. Joe Girardi trying to skip town with at least a split in this series. And here's the Honda Bloomfield starting lineup for the New York Yankees. Derek Jeter has had a tough, and I mean really tough series. He was 0 for 8 in the doubleheader yesterday. He'll lead off at short. Brett Gardner is in center, followed by Mark Teixeira, the DH today. A-Rod will clean up. Robinson Cano is at second base, followed by Jorge Posada. Juan Miranda will play first base. Randy Wynn is in left, and Greg Golson is batting ninth and in right field. The scouting report on Justin Verlander today is presented by Scott's Lawn Pro.
JV loves pitching in the month of May, and this year he is 2-0 with a 2.51 earned run average with 16 strikeouts, and he's looked awfully well doing so. Also 2-0 pitching in day games this year, and Teixeira to this point has been no problem for Verlander. Verlander has punched him out 5 of the 10 plate appearances that Teixeira's had against him. Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively, always presented by Beaumont Hospital. You got Brennan Bosch, who was in the outfield today, getting his first start against a left-hander and a tough left-hander. I guess it's his coming-out party. You see the remainder of the outfield with Bosch. In the infield is Inge and Everett and Sizemore and Cabrera. Gerald Laird, also pretty decent numbers against CC Sabathia, is putting down the fingers this afternoon for Verlander.
Well, Justin Verlander, as you know, had that rocky month of April, but now the month of May has rolled along. The numbers are getting better.
He's a legitimate ace. That much is for certain. That earned run average continues to inch its way down. With 42 innings, he has 42 strikeouts, but that's nothing new. Verlander led the planet in strikeouts last year.
So on a chilly afternoon in which our game time temperature is at 50 degrees, we are ready for baseball here today as Derek Jeter steps in, the shortstop for the Yankees. Facing Justin Verlander, Jeter, Gardner, and Teixeira here in the first inning for the Yanks. A little bit of a breeze blowing out today as Jeter swings in the first pitch, sends it deep in the hole. Everett with a tough play and throws it up the line. It'll be an infield hit for Derek Jeter. So one pitch into this game, the Yankees have their first base runner.
Well, Verlander can expect this Yankees team to jump on first pitch fastballs all afternoon long because they know once Verlander gets ahead of them, with his secondary pitches, they're not going to get good swings at him.
Jeter was 0 for 13 prior to that at bat in this series, and that is his first hit on the final day in the series.
The Yankees have kind of had their way at stealing bases in this series, and Jeter has speed to steal. He had 30 steals last year for the Yankees, but Verlander and Laird are a very difficult combination to run on.
Brett Gardner, the batter, he shows bunt, pops it up foul.
The Yankees coming out trying to score that first run in the first inning, knowing what the reputation of Verlander has been this year. First time through the batting order, for whatever reason this year, Verlander has really, really struggled. But second and third times through, he just gets dominant.
Gardner batting .337, has reached base in 14 straight. And Jeter being tested as he heads back to the bag.
Here's those numbers. 268 first time through, 145 second time through the lineup for JV.
Verlander with those very, very quick feet, and he's not afraid to let it go either from the get-go. He doesn't usually take a throw or two to gauge that throw to the bag. He just fires it from the get-go. 0-1 on Brett Gardner. And it's slap foul back out of play. 0-2. Verlander victories over the Angels and Cleveland in his 2 May starts. I don't know that we're making too much of the fact that the calendar turns and all of a sudden Verlander turns it on, but the last couple of years it's been that way.
No question about that.
A rocky month of April, but has since turned things around. Now the 0-2. And another foul back into the seats. Well, this may shed some light on Verlander. You see his ERA in the month of April compared to the month of May. These are career totals. A whole lot more wins and a much better earned run average. Jeter a two-step lead right now, beginning to stretch it at first base. And another foul back out of play by Gardner, who has turned into a very pesky hitter. Gardner, an interesting story, was a walkout at the College of Charleston. And as Brian Cashman, their general manager, says, everybody throughout his entire career told Gardner he was too small to play. And every step of the way, he has proved a lot of people wrong. That's up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Gardner. The Tigers in Verlander's starts are 5-2, yet Justin is only 3-2 overall. So even when he was not pitching his best baseball in the month of April, the Tigers were winning some games. And Detroit comes in at 19-15 here this afternoon.
Jeter is and would like to try to get himself down in the scoring position for the big boys that come to the plate, but Verlander has given him a variety of different looks, which has not allowed him to do so.
Everett will get 1 at second base, but Gardner has too much speed. They'll get the force. 1 away.
And just as he was paying attention to Derek Jeter when he was standing on first, he will need to pay as much attention, if not more, to Brett Gardner. He leads their club in steals as we speak and has tremendous speed.
So against Verlander, Mark Teixeira has not made a good living, that's for sure. Just 1 for 12 in 5 of those at-bats, resulting in a strikeout. But Teixeira's going pretty good these days. He has 5 RBIs in this series. And that a close play.
Verlander limits the amount of lead that you can get, even if you're Gardner, with the speed that he has, because Verlander's got those lightning quick feet. And then on top of that, he takes very little time getting the ball to Laird, which makes it tough for him to run on. Laird, the best throwing catcher in the American League last year by far. And since coming to the big leagues, or since 2006, Laird has been right up there in the top 3 at throwing out would-be base stealers.
Well, Gardner is legit as a base stealer, 16 out of 17 this year. But if he swipes on this duo, and he almost got picked off there, it'll be something because Laird gets rid of it quickly.
Gardner's first steps are quick. Look at this move here. You can see Gardner in that position where he just wants to turn and go. And the thing that I've noticed about him the last couple of days when he has stolen bases, that it appears that Gardner is running full speed when he takes that very first step. He's explosive.
He threw that one away. Gardner is thinking about going to third, but he'll stop.
That's what speed will do. No question about that. It's nice to have speed at the top of the batting order.
The Tigers commit yet another error. They lead the league in errors, and that one will go to Verlander. So Gardner in scoring position. And you've got Teixeira right now and A-Rod waiting on deck. Teixeira batting just .203. He is homered in this series. That was on the first game on Monday night. 2-0. Breeze blowing in today from left field on a gray afternoon here at the ballpark. The field looks like it's in remarkable shape considering all the rain that fell on it early this morning. Verlander continues to be very preoccupied with the base runner. And with the count 2-0 on Teixeira, he faces a tough situation here. Swing and a miss.
What a pitch. Most guys that throw 95 miles an hour, if you're Teixeira and you're sitting in a 2-0 count, there's no question you're sitting on the fastball, and Verlander throws this exceptional changeup that kind of fades down and away from Teixeira and gets him to swing and miss.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Teixeira. By the way, the Yankees in game 2 in the doubleheader yesterday, the game that they eventually blew out and blew open with a 6-run ninth, they were 6 for 12 with men in scoring position. It was game 1 in which the Tigers shut them out and commanded that one. In fact, game 2 was a close one until that 9th inning. And he got him. Strike 3 in the outside corner. Verlander carves up Teixeira again.
Teixeira with not much luck at all against Verlander in his career, and Bell Tire, our pitch-by-pitch, is telling us that he's not going to have any success this time around. And the reason for that is Verlander, in fastball counts, is able to pull the string on you with a changeup and then backdoor you with an outstanding curveball for the strike 3 by Mike Estabrook. He's got 3 above-average pitches, and he's got a slider he's still working on, which he's trying to perfect. And every now and then, that slider is an outstanding pitch for Verlander as well.
Alex Rodriguez will stand in with 2 outs.
I really like how all the Tigers pitchers have pitched the Yankee hitters in this series. They really haven't gotten loose as a group. And the reason for that is, in the 4 games, they have not been afraid to go inside on any of the guys, the big boys.
And A-Rod would certainly qualify as one of the big boys. 4 for 13 with a couple of RBIs in the series.
A-Rod was down in the clubhouse today watching some video on Verlander, trying to see if there was anything whatsoever that he could pick up, which would allow him to have any kind of success whatsoever here today.
Swing and a miss.
Wow. 97 with some movement to the arm side. You can't hit this. Look at the late life on the 97-mile-per-hour fastball.
A-Rod has knocked in 22 so far this year. Looking for a 2-out hit here for the Yankees in the early going. That is popped up. Right side of the infield. Cabrera waiting, inning over. So no damage done. They leave one at second base. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. Well, Justin Verlander pitching out of a bit of a mini jam in the first inning. Tigers coming to the plate in the bottom of the first. Their lineup is presented by our good friends at Big Boy, and it features today Austin Jackson at the top, just like every other day. Johnny Damon, the DH. Maglio is in right field. Cabrera is cleaning up. Brennan Bosch getting the start at left field. Brandon Inge down at third. You've got Laird, Sizemore, and Everett rounding it out for the Tigers. The Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on CC Sabathia. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
He's a legitimate ace. That much is for certain. As a matter of fact, no left-hander has won more games than CC Sabathia since the beginning of the 2001 season. Of course, lots of history between the Tigers and CC. He pitched for Cleveland, and he saw the Tigers quite often. His record is 14-10, and he is lifetime 7-3 here at Comerica Park. So he does some of his best work here against the Tigers.
It'll be Jackson, Damon, and Ordonez here in the first inning. Austin batting .354. A couple of hits in the series, and he also has an RBI.
Tigers have always had real good fastball hitting teams that presented problems for CC when he was wearing that Cleveland Indians uniform.
Sabathia got to the big leagues at a very young age, and he has just done nothing but pile up numbers year after year after year. And Sabathia, last season no different. He won 19 ball games, tied for the major league high in that category.
30 complete games. Only Roy Halladay with more. Since 01, that is.
The good ones used to throw nearly 30 in a season, but those days are long gone, and 30 right now, and CC's resume very impressive.
Halladay could do it if the Philadelphia Phillies allowed him to. That's how efficient Halladay has been throughout his brilliant career.
Now the 1-2.
And now that Halladay's pitching in Philadelphia in the National League, his stuff is even better.
I'd be surprised if he did not win 20 games over the National League.
He's legit.
And that's no disrespect to the teams there, but, you know, with the pitcher hitting, it's certainly, and pitchers will tell you that, they come from the National, the American League. It is more stressful to get through an American League lineup.
There's better offenses over here. There's a couple of American League lineups over in the National League, but not with the regularity that you see over here.
2-2 on Jackson.
It's going to be very important for Jackson to lay off that elevated fastball here today. That's how they've pretty much gotten him out the first 3 games of this series, with fastballs that have been belt buckle or higher. And when you've got good fastballs like some of the guys they ran at Jackson, you get swings and misses. Ooh.
Sabathia gets strike 3 as Jackson is caught looking, and the first strikeouts of the game for CC.
Let's take a look at the defense today of the New York Yankees. It's Wynn, it's Gardner, it's Golson in the outfield. It's A-Rod, it's Jeter, it's Cano, it's Miranda at first base. Posada back behind the dish. Joe Girardi has used the last 3 days here to rotate that designated hitter spot between A-Rod and Jeter. And today Teixeira gets somewhat of an afternoon off by not playing the field.
Here's the former Yankee, Johnny Damon, showing bunt, drags one down. CC coming off to make the play.
That's a good idea. CC's a big man and not known for his fielding. If Damon gets that ball a little bit closer to Cano, he gets a base hit there, but Charleston, CC, able to get off the mound and get to it. And you see the particulars on Sabathia.
29 years old now, out of Vallejo, California. 6'7", 290. 2 gone for Maglio. And a bouncing ball left side. It is cut off by A-Rod. Nice play. And the Tigers go 1-2-3. Sabathia has a quick inning. 1 in the books. No score.
We'll remember is being shown again tonight at 6:30 here on Fox Sports Detroit, or you can watch it anytime online at foxsportsdetroit.com, part of the website's special section devoted to the memory of Ernie Harwell.
So as we go to the second, we have a scoreless ball game here this afternoon. Of course, Mr. Harwell will be immortalized the rest of the year with that flag, and of course he's been on the wall there out in right center field, and he will never ever be forgotten. Here's Robinson Cano to lead it off as we go to the second. It'll be Cano, Posada, and Miranda facing the right-hander Justin Verlander. He gave up a single and committed a throwing error trying to pick a runner off, but no damage done. Cano right now batting .341, and that is good for 5th in the American League. Fouls away the first pitch, 0-1.
These Yankees, they know that Verlander is going to come at them with lots of first pitch strikes. As a matter of fact, Verlander's ratio already in this game is tremendous. 17 total pitches, 13 of which have hit the strike zone.
Hammered back out of play, 0-2. For Cano, 9 home runs, and he was the player of the month in the month of April. The reason he won that award, he hit a cool 400. He's down to the count, 0-2, and Verlander missing high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Justin coming into this one today was 3-2 lifetime against the Yankees, a 4.36 ERA. Pitched really well against them last year.
Yeah, that start he had against them last April was really the start that got him on a roll. He pitched 7 innings in that game, did not give up a run, and had 9 strikeouts.
Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball to second base. Easy play for Sizemore. Cano is out of there. 1 gone. Well, Verlander's gone head-to-head with CC a few times, and here are the numbers in those meetings. A lot of strikeouts for Justin. No surprise. Sabathia won the last meeting last July. 2 aces going at it here today. And 2 aces that have been locked up for a long time. CC signed a 7-year deal. Verlander signed his deal this past offseason.
Make no mistake about it. Going into the final weekend of the season last year, when it looked like the Yankees were going to play the Tigers, the Yankees weren't all that excited about seeing Jackson and Porcello and Verlander roll in the Yankee Stadium. No disrespect to the Minnesota Twins, who had a marvelous September to take over first place at the end of the season, but the Yankees did not want to see the core pitching the Tigers had last year.
The 1-0. That's into right field, a base hit. Well, Porcello and Verlander were pitching well. I know Jackson, and we're talking about the Edwin Jackson, kind of struggled down the stretch, but still had the capability of overpowering hitters with that tough a year that he had last year.
When those 3 pitched, well, actually, Porcello didn't pitch in Yankee Stadium, I don't think, but when Verlander and Jackson pitched in that series in Yankee Stadium, and the Tigers lost both of those games, but those guys had outstanding starts. They could have gone either way.
So here is Juan Miranda now with 1 on and 1 out. Second hit of the ball game for the Yankees belongs to Posada.
Not a whole lot of data on Miranda, but they do tell us he's got some power.
As evidenced by his 19 home runs last year at AAA. Miranda, a native of Cuba who defected from Cuba. It was back in 2005.
And he and Austin Jackson were teammates last year. Of course, Jackson had 151 hits last year in AAA for the Yankees. So he and Miranda did their fair share of damage.
Seems like Austin's got 151 hits already this year.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike on Miranda. 27 years of age.
Here's where Verlander would love to fade a little changeup or a backdoor breaking ball at the bottom of the strike zone to Miranda, something to get him out in front. to get that ground ball, to possibly get a double play, get out of this inning, save as many pitches as possible.
In the air to center field. Austin Jackson is back there. 2 gone. Miranda picked the wrong part of the ballpark. And that's going to leave it up to Randy Wynn. Verlander came into this one today with 42 strikeouts in 42 innings. Of course, he led the American League last year with 269 strikeouts. Randy Wynn steps in there as Joe Girardi putting as many lefties in his lineup as he can, because Verlander really shuts down right-handed hitters. They hit only 162 against him. Oh, 0-1 on Randy Wynn, batting .219. Fouled back out of play. 0-2. Girardi is the 3rd youngest manager in the major leagues, and you see his numbers. 3rd season here with New York. A.J. Hinch and Manny Acta are the only 2 managers that are younger than Girardi.
Girardi must have had some kind of interview before that 2008 season when he got the Yankees job, because all we had heard for a couple of years prior to that was Don Mattingly was going to be the next manager in New York. But it was Girardi that had one great interview. And of course they knew Girardi from his playing days in New York. And he had one managerial stint with the Florida Marlins. And I believe after he won Manager of the Year that year, he got fired.
Right, which was kind of hard to figure out. From the outside, at least. 2-2 on Randy Wynn. The Yankees, in their history, and of course they've won 27 World Championships, have had 9 different managers lead them to World Series titles, and Girardi is the youngest of the bunch.
He's got a bright future ahead of him, and especially when you get a chance to manage the kind of talent that he has.
3-2 pitch with the runner going, and it's fouled back.
You talk to most managers, and they will tell you they are only as good as that 25-man roster.
And it's got to be awfully comforting to write in the names of Teixeira and A-Rod and Jeter on a nightly basis. Cano. Terrific starting rotation. Of course, you got Rivera at the back end of your bullpen. With that, I suppose, though, comes with it a lot of pressure that you have to win, especially in that market.
Well, if you don't win a world championship, it's not a good season in New York. When they line them up on Valentine's Day in February, they've got one goal in mind, and that's to win the championship. And if you don't win it, it's a disappointing season in New York.
3-2 on Randy Wynn. And he lost him. So Wynn finally works a walk. That'll be the first of the game for Verlander.
The Yankees know exactly what their game plan is for this game for Verlander, and that's to somehow get his pitch count up to a total to where he's not around in the game in the 7th and 8th inning. If they're able to accomplish that, then they feel like they've got a really good chance to win. That's why some of the guys are very patient, and then some of your bigger boys are swinging at the very first pitch, hoping to get something that's right over the heart of the plate.
Breaking ball in there for a strike on Greg Golson. Golson playing in right field. Got his first major league hit last night in the nightcap. And same pitch, same result, 0-2.
A couple of outstanding curveballs by Justin Verlander.
Golson acquired from Texas this past offseason. Another breaking ball. This one rolled to short. Everett will get the force at second, side retired. So a single, a walk, 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the second. Cabrera, Bosch, Inge coming up. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Romani Eye Institute, the most trusted name in eye care. AT&T, find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by GMC, we are professional grade. Back here at the ballpark, the Tigers and Yankees going at it today. And a reminder, vote for your Tigers McDonald's player of the game using your cell phone. You can text Tigers followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. That's FSDET on your cell phone. Standard text rates do apply. CC Sabathia back to work, facing Miguel Cabrera to lead it off, then Brennan Bosch and Brandon Inge. First pitch in there for a strike. Cabrera enjoying an 11-game hitting streak right now. He is 4 for 10 in this series. He's had a couple of doubles. There's the 0-1. He's going to go whistling back into the seats. 0-2 on Miguel.
It's a small sampling, but CC Sabathia has been no problem for Miguel Cabrera. Cabby hitting .625 in his career against CC.
I'm sure there aren't too many guys rolling around with those credentials against Sabathia. Big lefty is ready now with the 0-2 pitch. And he got him.
Outstanding pitch.
Strikeout number 2 for Big CC.
You have a couple of guys today, one right-handed and one left-handed, that can overpower you, but they also have the uncanny ability to finesse you as well, as CC does here with an 82-mile-per-hour slider at the back foot of Cabrera. Unhittable pitch.
He's going to bring up Brennan Bosch. 5 for 10 for Bosch in this 4-game series so far. Waving a miss, 0-1.
Somewhat of a coming-out party here today for Brennan Bosch. Getting his first start against Sabathia, the left-hander, and Bosch's first start against a left-handed pitcher.
Normally these at-bats would go to Ryan Rayburn, but he was sent down to AAA. Well, I guess it's been tough to take Bosch out of the lineup, and that is why. To the gap it goes. It's another extra base hit for Bosch as he cruises into second with a double against Sabathia.
I was talking to Bosch today when he was watching some video on Sabathia, and I was asking him, how does he pitch the bigger left-handed hitters on opposing teams that have the kind of size that you have? And he says, you know, I haven't seen many left-handers because CC doesn't go up against many left-handed batters, but Bosch swings at the first fastball he gets, and he's able to get himself a stand-up double. Sometimes that's all you can do when watching an opposing pitcher when you haven't faced him before, is you kind of watch and see how he pitches to other guys on other teams that have the same kind of size and power that you have.
Here's Brandon Inge, and he takes a ball outside, 1-0.
That at bat by Bosch is only the 32nd this year that CC has had against a left-handed batter. I remember, who was it, Randy Johnson? Left-handers did not play against Randy Johnson at all.
Automatic day off.
Even the best left-handers.
And they didn't seem to care, did they?
No.
Driven in the air. Right center field. Gardner coming over, and so is the right fielder, Golson. And Golson makes the play, so Bosch will hold up. Two gone now, and that's going to bring up Gerald Laird. Laird batting 157.
And Laird also one of the few Tigers that has decent numbers against Sabathia. No doubt Sabathia knows that with the base open. He may pitch cautiously to Laird with the rookie Sizemore in the on-deck circle, even though Laird is not off to a good start offensively. His numbers against CC don't lie.
Ball outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
And it looks like that may be exactly what Sabathia is doing here.
Tigers get a 1-out double from Bosch. He is still standing at second base now with 2 outs. Bosch, by the way, now has 10 extra base hits in 16 games for the Tigers. The 2-0. Checked his swing and loops it into right, a base hit. Bosch rounding third. They'll send him home, and he will come around to score. And excuse me, RBI hit for Gerald Laird.
Gerald Laird is now 6 for 13 against Sabathia. And with the base open, for Sabathia, Laird probably the last guy that you would want to yield a base hit to in this situation with 2 outs. A little bit of an excuse me swing. The ball was in off the plate for ball 3. He was trying to walk Laird, but G Money will take it. Thank you.
You better believe he'll take that.
Thank you very much.
After hitting some balls on the screws this year and getting nothing, he's now hitting .462 against Sabathia. Tigers take the early lead here. Sizemore looks at a strike, 0-1. Scott batting .225, hitless in this series. Swing and a miss. It'll get away from the catcher Posada, so advanced Laird to second base. Might be a pass ball.
It should be. After that replay, if they're looking at what we're looking at.
It is a pass ball. 0-2 on Sizemore. Wave and a miss. He tipped it into the glove for strike 3. That will end the inning. Tigers get a run, though. 2 in the books. Gerald Laird makes it a 1-0 game.
To be for this year, they're a better team.
Yeah. Talk about your offseason a little bit. What is it that you guys do now? I know the season is just over, but when do you kind of start to get back into getting yourself back into shape for the upcoming season? You play anything in the summer, anything like that?
Just take a couple of weeks here and let the body, get healthy, and then eventually get back in the gym and just start working hard and preparing for next year.
Derek Jeter is leading it off here against Justin Verlander as we go to the third. Tigers have a 1-0 lead. We're chatting with Jimmy Howard, the goaltender of the Detroit Red Wings, who was with a couple of his teammates here at the ballpark today. And on a chilly day, I guess it kind of reminds you of the rink, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It is freezing out there.
We'll talk about the fact that you got your first playoff start this year against the Coyotes. And everybody says that playoff hockey in the NHL, you just can't match it. And when we watch it on television, even in person, it seems to be taken to another level.
Oh, it really is. It's a lot faster. It was the fastest hockey that I've ever, participated in. And, you really don't understand the grind until you participate in it and you feel like, how much your body aches every single day and how mentally tough you really have to be.
How much of a blessing has it been for you to play for such a classy organization led by Mike Ilitch? And, of course, you got tremendous general manager, and you're playing for one of the best franchises in the history of hockey.
It's pretty surreal being able to, play for an original 6 team. And, I'm just really thankful that I'm in such a great organization and I'm, around a great group of guys every single day.
Derek Jeter sends one on the ground to the shortstop. And Everett will throw him out. Nice pick down there by Cabrera. One gone.
Now, did you play any baseball
I did.
when you were growing up?
Yeah, I
Really?
did. I played until I was around 10 or 11 years old. And then I decided, that I had a real passion for hockey, and I started really concentrating on that.
Let me guess, since you're a goaltender, you probably caught when you were a little kid. Did you play
I did
catch?
do a little catching. I also played a lot of shortstop. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got to have a good arm to play short.
Oh,
You have
I
a good
know.
arm?
And be
good glove.
athletic to play shortstop.
I think that's where I learned, to get such a good glove, getting all those balls.
Now, you're from New York.
Yeah.
Correct?
Upstate New York, Ogdensburg. Yep.
Born and raised.
Yep.
Still make your home there in the offseason?
No, I actually live in Maine in the off season.
It's nice there.
Yeah, that's where I went to school, so just head back there and relax.
Gardner looks at a ball outside.
I played one summer baseball there, Old Orchard Beach, Maine, and it was a lot of fun playing there one summer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's beautiful down there. It's I love it, and you can't really beat it. You got great weather, and the ocean's right there too.
The beach, yeah.
You are one of 3 finalists for the Calder Trophy, which is the NHL's top rookie. Talk about that. How exciting is that?
It's just an honor to be named to be a Calder finalist. I wasn't really expecting it coming into the season, and to have the season that I had just shows the hard work pays off.
Chatting with Jimmy Howard of the Red Wings, who is taking in a Tigers game here this afternoon. 1-2 bounces in, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jimmy, one of the things about this Red Wings season, I know there was a lot of anticipation at the start, but all of a sudden you guys really took off after the Olympic break, and it looked like you guys were really going to put things together. And it was quite a stretch.
Yeah, it was really a combination of just getting everyone back, finding our groove, and getting healthy. I mean, we battled the injury bug there for a while, and once we got everyone back and healthy and refreshed after the Olympic break, we were able to put it, just a great run to not only get into the playoffs, but to move up into the standings.
And you bring up the injuries, and obviously, that can curtail any season, but the amount of injuries and 2 significant players really was kind of a lot to overcome this year.
Yeah, it was. I mean, just shows how good our general manager is, kind of even finding players and finding depth, and it just speaks volumes of how hard the guys work to be able to stick around the playoff hunt and then for us to get in.
How much does where you're seated once you get into the postseason really help in you advancing? Because I believe you guys were seated a lot lower this year than you had in recent memory. So how much of a difference does it make?
I think it does make a difference because the travel is a little less on your body, and with us, we had to go out on the West Coast for both series. It would have been nice to have home ice advantage because you're starting off every series at home.
3 balls, 2 strikes on Brett Gardner, and that's popped foul. Third base side, Brandon Inge under it, and there are 2 gone. I get into fights all the time with Ken Daniels, your play-by-play guy with the Red Wings, about which is tougher, a baseball season or a hockey season. Now, baseball plays twice the amount of games, but when you look at the NHL and take the physicality out of it, You guys are into towns, then you're out. You're in, you're out. Where in baseball, maybe you can stick around 3 or 4 days, but that hockey schedule is pretty grueling, too.
It is, and especially this year with the Olympic year, everything was really condensed, you know, because we had that 2-week break in February. So, I mean, somehow it's just you got to find a way, you know, to put on the skates every single night.
Absolutely. Here the Tigers are ahead 1-0 as we play in the third. Mark Teixeira batting with 2 outs and nobody on. Justin Verlander, so far so good. He's given up just 2 hits, no runs. And again, we're chatting with Jimmy Howard, goaltender of the Detroit Red Wings.
You get to many Tigers baseball games at all?
In the springtime, yeah. Try to come down, you know, as much as I can before I head back to Maine in the off season. Actually, my wife and I are going to come down here Saturday night and see the Red Sox play too.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
The Red Sox fan, huh?
Yeah, she growing up in New England, she loves the Sox.
What about you?
I like watching them. You know, it's fun. I mean, it's really the only baseball that we get in New England in the summertime. I mean, they're on every single day, so it's nice to be able to kick back and relax and turn the game on.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Well, what about Fenway? You've been to Fenway then, right?
Yeah. I've been there a couple of times. It's such a great old park. Right?
It is, and it's considered one of the venerable buildings in baseball. What would you equate that with in the NHL? Are there some rinks and some buildings that are kind of like that, old buildings that have a lot of history?
Especially the Joe. I mean, you know, I think you take it playing there every single day and practicing there every day. We might take it a little bit for granted, but I mean, you just walk around and you walk into that building with all the players that have played there and all the great players that have played there. It's you know, it's a special feeling.
Who were some of your favorite players growing up as a kid? Was there somebody that you patterned yourself after? Was there somebody that you just grew up idolizing in hockey?
I grew up, I loved Mike Richter, New York Rangers. I was a huge Ranger fan growing up, and Mike Richter was a goalie that I always idolized, and I would try to never miss a start.
There's a bouncing ball to third base. Inge will gobble it up, and that is that for the Yankees. Jimmy, good luck in the offseason. Have a good time. Rest up, relax. Good luck next year.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right. Jimmy Howard, goaltender of the Detroit Red Wings, joining us here for half inning. Right now, Justin Verlander still in command. Tigers lead by 1.
Deal for you. You can have your picnic or your party at an upcoming Tigers game. Group tickets, picnics, and party suites are on sale now. Groups of 15 or more get discount tickets to select games while supplies last. Order your group tickets today at 313-471-BALL or visit Tigers.com.
Adam Everett leads it off. First pitch swinging. Going to be a tough play for A-Rod. He has no play. It's an infield hit. And the Tigers get their third hit of the game. Leadoff man is on. That'll bring up the top of the order now, Austin Jackson.
Well, Jim knows that runs are going to be at a premium here today with a couple of outstanding pitchers towing the rubber. And this may be a situation where he decides to give Jackson the sacrifice bunt to see if he can get Everett down in the scoring position for some of the bigger boys to drive him in. Not that Jackson can't, but you take advantage of every situation that you can against a dominant pitcher like Sabathia.
Bouncing ball to second. Instead, looks like it might be a double play. And, ooh, they got him by half a step. Ooh, that was close. Right now, time for a game break. We check in with Trevor Thompson. He has an update on the Orioles and the Mariners. All right, Trev, thank you very much. Base is empty now for Johnny Damon, who bounced out his first time. I've actually tried to drag a bunt right by CC, and Sabathia would have none of that. Made a nice play on him.
Suzuki does not hit many home runs, but when he wants to try to hit a home run, a lot like Johnny Damon, has the ability to do so.
You know, I wonder with that Seattle team, since they are so devoid of any power, if Ichiro might not try and pick up the pace a little bit.
He might. He's just one of those guys that just has the uncanny ability of sitting on one pitch, and if you do give him that pitch he's looking for, he can play some long ball. I've watched him on several occasions just put on a power display in batting practice, so he's got some power.
His average would certainly suffer, but that team needs some power right now.
Yeah, they're struggling right now.
1-2 on Johnny Damon.
CeCe's got that real nice slow slider today, working for him to the left-handers and to the right-handers as well. Damon wasn't biting on that last one.
Johnny in the series, 2 out of 11. Among the league leaders in runs scored, that's no surprise. He has 25 already, 6th best in the American League. Bouncing ball right side. Right in Miranda, and he'll win the race to the bag to retire the side. Tigers get a leadoff single but fail to score. It's answerable. In the meantime, through 3 innings, it is 1-0 in favor of the Tigers as Robinson Cano leads it off. First pitch, bouncing ball to short. Yankees coming out swinging the bats today, 1 away. And Cano is 0 for 2 with a couple of grounders. Verlander has scattered a couple of hits.
Put up some numbers earlier on Verlander, first time through the batting order. The batting average for the opponents right around 270, but second time through Verlander starts to get busy, as do most power pitchers and outstanding pitchers. If you don't get them early, you usually don't get them at all.
The key to Rick Porcello and his success in Game 1 of the doubleheader yesterday was first pitch strikes. Well, Verlander is following suit now. 11 of 15 first pitch strikes.
Porcello also got 15 ground outs of the 21 outs recorded.
Here's the 0-1. That's on the ground to second. A little bit of a funny hop for Sizemore, but he stayed with it, and Posada is out of there.
And if you missed it yesterday, here was Rick Porcello, and this Rick Porcello was tremendous. He started out the game pounding the right-handers and the left-handers inside with good, firm, moving fastballs. They couldn't do anything but pound them into the turf, and then later changed some eye levels with some high fastballs, and it took Swisher hitting a seed off his back to get him out of the game. That was after the 7th inning.
There's Miranda now with 2 outs. Juan fly to center field back in the second.
Was that one of his better pitching performances of his career?
You know what? I'd have to look back at some of the numbers, and you made the comment yesterday. I think you might be right. And it just seemed like he was, and I know he had some base runners every now and then, but he seemed like he was in command from the first pitch of the game.
And he was good last year. He won 14 games. I mean, out of nowhere as a 20-year-old, but I mean, due to the circumstances and where he was at and the amount of hits that he was giving up and the confidence that he may have been pitching with before yesterday, that was a big start for Porcello. Big start for him.
And factor in the lineup that he faced.
Yeah.
So good sign for Rick Porcello. Must be feeling a whole lot better about himself these days. 3-0 is the count on Juan Miranda. And Verlander didn't want to do that. He walked him on 4 straight pitches. That's his 3rd walk. By the way, this game is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. Conversation on the mound now between Laird and Verlander. Randy Wynn will step in. Randy Wynn's played a long time. He's been with a few different teams the last 5 years over in the National League with San Francisco, but he's also played with Seattle and Tampa. His first year in the big leagues was '98, but he has yet to play in a postseason game.
Well, that's going to change this year, more than likely, if he stays healthy.
1,621 games now without appearing in the postseason, and that is the longest current streak of any major leaguer. The 0-1. Tigers have the game's only run, and it came on the RBI single by Gerald Laird back in the second. One pitch. Verlander pitching here in the 4th inning. Has now thrown 66 total pitches. Justin threw 118 his last start, 120 the start before that. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Laird putting down the signs today. 2-2 pitch. Fouled away. I was listening to an interview with Steven Strasburg's AAA manager coming into the ballpark today, and he was saying that Strasburg has this overpowering fastball, good breaking ball, above average changeup, all major league ready. And I thought to myself, he just described Justin Verlander.
He sure did, because JB's got all that and then some.
That's low.
Verlander's got mound presence, tenacity. He knows he's good.
Meanwhile, the Tigers this year will be playing the Washington Nationals in interleague play. Wouldn't it be something if Strasburg pitched against the Tigers and happened to face Verlander? That'll be in June. And that's what the word is on Strasburg, is that he may be coming up in the month of June, depending on how he does at AAA. And so far, he's off to a nice start. That would be a high-octane matchup.
Strasburg started the season in AA, correct? And then he's now been moved to AAA, so he's just one step away.
I think he had 6 no-hit innings the other night. Again, the 3-2 with the runner going, and it's fouled back out of play. Full count on Randy Wynn.
Jim Leland's concerned with all these foul balls that these Yankees continue to nick against Verlander, but really nothing new when JV's on the mound.
Swing and a miss. He finally gets him in the 9th pitch in that at bat, and Verlander picks up his 2nd strikeout of the day. 3.5 in the books. Tigers still on top. Well, you got to believe the Yankees are one of the teams. And they are the Cleveland Indians. Back in May of 1929, the first 2 teams to wear numbers in the same game. Sabathia back to work. Maglio swings in the first pitch. Jeter on the charge. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Sabathia's pitch count total is in unbelievable shape through 3 innings. I mean, take a look at this. 29 total pitches.
By the way, we're talking about Verlander's first pitch strike. CC now is 10 for 12. Here's Cabrera.
I think that's part of the reason why we're seeing a lot of these guys that are going to the plate that are swinging at the very first pitch, is that both guys are so efficient in their first pitches. And both guys have legitimate out pitches, so you don't want to fall behind them because you're probably not going to get real good swings at them.
Ball high.
Ooh, straighten the big fella up.
How's this for efficiency? CC now has had 5 one-pitch at-bats in this game. That'll keep the pitch count in line. Hasn't thrown too many that have missed the strike zone. Cabby trying to extend his hitting streak. It's at 11 in a row. That missed high. 2-1.
Well, here is where CC, just like Verlander, can throw you an assortment of different pitches. I mean, there are some guys in the big leagues where you know beyond a shadow of a doubt you're going to get a fastball here, even being Cabrera. But with Sabathia, because he's got 4 above average pitches, you could get any one of them, but you still have to look for your fastball here. You have to.
High drive into right field, way back to the track, to the wall. It's an opposite field home run.
He looked for it, and he got it, and he didn't miss it. Special. Special is Miguel Cabrera.
8th home run of the year and a 12-game hitting streak now for Miguel.
Came into the game hitting a cool .625 against CC Sabathia and takes the 2-1 fastball at 95 miles an hour. He lets it travel, and he hits the ball out to right field like he's a left-handed power hitter. What a force. What a talent.
Tigers have added another now. They lead 2-0. Here is Brennan Bosch. So now 19 straight games in which he's picked up at least 1 hit against the Yankees.
He just looks like he's in a really good frame of mind this year. First 6 weeks of the year, he just looks like he's on some kind of mission.
It's driven down the right field line. It's going to hook. Ooh, nice grab. Nice job. And a souvenir for the youngster. Pays to bring your glove, especially if you're in row 1.
He's like, no fair.
1-2 on Bosch. Brennan doubled to the gap in right center field back in the 2nd. And that's what makes baseball so special. That young man now will have something to remember this game by a long, long time.
Lifetime. He doesn't know much about Verlander Sabathia, but he knows he's got a baseball.
Here's the 1-2. Again, driven down the right field line. That ball is hit well, and that ball is up the top of the wall and gone.
Brennan Bosch.
Brennan Bosch against the lefty CC Sabathia has a double and a homer.
The pride of Santa Monica, California.
Back-to-back bombs for Detroit.
The first time up, he had a double in the right center field. It was a fastball, and this time Bosch appears to be very smart. He knew CC would come back with the soft stuff, and the Lincoln Mercury Exmo is telling us that he went out and got an outside pitch, and with those long arms and strong hands, whistled the ball out of here.
Here's Brandon Inge.
He's becoming awfully fun to watch.
CC Sabathia has allowed just 5 home runs to left-handed batters since joining the Yankees. The 5th was the one you just witnessed. And the extra base hits just keep piling up. Bosch has been something else.
That's 11 extra base hits for Bosch in 16 games.
Sabathia has given up back-to-back homers. Five Tigers hits now and a 3-0 lead. Bouncing ball to third. A-Rod plays the flattened out hop and throws him out. 2 gone. Last time the Tigers hit back-to-back homers, April 30th. Wasn't too long ago when Laird and Sizemore did it against the Angels. Here it is Cabrera and Bosch. People around the league trying to talk about Brennan Bosch now. That's his 3rd home run, his 16th RBI.
Brennan Bosch has got a couple of things that you can't teach. One of which is size. He's 6'6", and the other is power. And he's got a lot of that.
Yeah, he's got speed too.
For a big guy, he does run well.
The 1-0. So Verlander now has gotten some support in the battle of aces here. The Tigers have gotten to Sabathia. 2-0 on Laird. To the shortstop, Jeter. Tricky hop. Laird is out. So are the Tigers. Not before they pull out the whooping sticks in this inning. Cabrera goes the other way. Bosch pulls it down the line. 3-0. Baseball here today. The Tigers, courtesy of back-to-back homers by Cabrera and Bosch, extending their lead for Justin Verlander. 3-0 ball game now as we go to the 5th inning. Greg Golson leads it off, and Derek Jeter and Brett Gardner. The 1-0 pitch is butted foul behind the plate. 1-1 on Golson. .262 hitter Scranton Wilkes-Barre with a couple of home runs, 10 RBIs. Now with the big club. The 1-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and Golston is down. 1 away. 3rd strikeout.
If you didn't know by looking at these numbers, you wouldn't believe it. But since the 1995 season, there's been 2 outstanding table setters, and both of them are in the building today. That would be Derek Jeter and Johnny Damon. And look at their numbers up and down. They kind of mirror one another. Now, we have talked on several occasions, if Derek was to shut it down and go home tomorrow, he would be headed straight to the Hall of Fame. But we don't talk about Johnny Damon the same way that we do Derek Jeter. Of course, Derek's batting average is a little higher, and he's got more career hits, and he just got hit there.
From Verlander, too, and that brought Joe Girardi sprinting out of the dugout.
No doubt about that. He's their guy.
Verlander didn't want to do that, and he's trying to make that clear.
Well, Jeter's one of those guys that you have to crowd. There's no debate about that. You've got to pitch him inside because he dives out over the plate. And that one just got a little bit too far inside, and Verlander clipped it. A little tailing fastball with good velocity, and Derek trying to stay in there just couldn't get out of the way, and it looks like it got him right on the wrist area, it looks like.
JV clearly didn't want to hit Jeter, who was drilled with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball right on the wrist. So he is aboard now, and that'll bring up Brett Gardner.
just to finish that thought on Damon and Jeter. Should Damon somehow get to 3,000 hits, and I think we will start to think of him as a possible candidate to getting into the Hall of Fame with what he's been able to do throughout his career.
The 0-1. Well, a lot of the Johnny Damon stats are kind of the stats that you have to peel away to look at and to find. The runs scored, the on-base percentage. They're not the homers and the RBIs and the fancy batting average. But this guy just gets on base and scores a ton of runs. Helps your team win that way.
Johnny's made a couple all-star teams. Of course, he played in Boston and New York, where he got a lot of notoriety.
Out in front of the plate, Laird guns and gets him.
That's exactly what he did, partner. He had to gun it to get Gardner. Gardner with exceptional speed, and Laird, after he picked this ball up, he grabbed it with, he throws with 3 fingers on the ball. We'll see if we can show it to you here, but he makes sure that he has a really good handle on it. You see the 3 fingers, and he plants and fires a seed to first base. He's got them little short, stubby fingers, so he can't throw with just 2.
That's a perfect shot. So with 2 outs, here is Teixeira. Ball 1. Verlander has limited this Yankees offense to just 2 hits today. Tigers got a run in the second, 2 in the fourth. Two balls, no strikes. 97 on that last fastball from Verlander. Teixeira struck out in the first inning. Ooh, boy, Teixeira let it all hang out there. 2-1. Teixeira on Saturday hit 3 home runs at Fenway Park in Boston. The only other Yankees player in their long history to hit 3 homers in a game at Fenway was Lou Gehrig. Teixeira joined him with a big game. He's fouled back out of play. 2-2. Now full count 3-2 with A-Rod waiting on deck. Teixeira has gone 7 straight years with at least 25 home runs. Ground ball pulled to first base. Cabrera has it. He'll win the race to the bag, retiring the side. No runs, no hits, hit batter 1 left. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Tigers live from the Coliseum Studios immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Jonesy, feed the bird. It's hungry. Sabathia back to work facing Sizemore in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pretty good seat there by that bird out there by the bullpen. Facing the wrong way, though. Tigers got 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th. A couple of home runs in that 4th inning. Sizemore drives one to center. Brett Gardner is there, and 1 gone. He's going to bring up Adam Everett. Tigers have 5 hits today. And 2 of them have left the building, Cabrera and Bosch. CC's still throwing first pitch strikes. Done that all day. Adam had an infield single back in the 3rd. Second hit in the series, 2 for 7. Popped up. Is there room? Posada will run out of room. They'll battle for it in the stands. Oh, 0-2. Sabathia last year placed 4th in the Cy Young voting, and this is in a year in which he went 19-8 with a 3.37 ERA. Here's the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Parts of 8 years with the Cleveland Indians, the organization that CC broke in with. First round pick of theirs way back in 1998. Get back out of play. Austin Jackson waiting on deck.
Stress-free. But really the number that matters right now is that 3 spot the Tigers have on the board in that run column.
Popped up again. And again Posada coming back to the screen. No chance.
CC Sabathia won the Cy Young in 07 with Cleveland, and Cliff Lee won that award in 08. Of course, CC was traded to Milwaukee in the summer of 08, and Cliff Lee was traded to the Philadelphia Phillies last year. It was the first time that 2 Cy Young Award winners in back-to-back seasons were traded in the history of the game. And to make matters worse, the Cleveland Indians had to watch CC Sabathia and Cliff Lee in Game 1 of the World Series last year. 2 of their own.
Lifted in the air to shallow left, and Jeter back there to the grass to record the out. 2 away.
But where you earned a lot of respect for CC is when he was traded from Cleveland to the Milwaukee Brewers, and what he was able to do for that team the second half of the year, single-handedly pitching them into the postseason. And the numbers just don't lie. 11-2 with a 1.65 earned run average. He had 7 complete games and 17 starts for the Milwaukee Brewers. And the last 3 starts of the year were on 3 days rest.
There's a strike on Austin Jackson. Jackson is 0 for 2 in this one with a strikeout and a double play. Here's the 0-1. Ooh, broke his bat. And A-Rod will throw him out. It's a 1-2-3 inning for CC Sabathia. We played 5.
When going up against A-Rod, he started him out crowding him with fastballs inside. He showed him away, and then he finished him off with a real good firm fastball at the top of the strike zone that A-Rod couldn't get around on, and he popped up to second base with a runner in scoring position.
No runs through 5 for Verlander. He's given up just 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. It has not been a big strikeout day for Justin, but he's pitched very, very effectively as he goes to work now here in the 6th. Justin struck out 9 in his last start against the Indians. Popped him up. Left side of the infield, and Brandon Inge is there for out number 1. Time for another game break. We send it to Trevor Thompson with an update on the Mariners and the Orioles. Trev. That's cold, Trev. It's really cold. Griffey, of course, was accused the other day of taking a little bit of a nap in the locker room. Robinson Cano is the batter here in the 6th inning with 1 out. Cano is 0 for 2 with a couple of grounders. And Verlander misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another ground ball, this one up the middle. Everett ranging to his left. And Verlander in cruise control mode right now, 2 gone. That's 0 for 3 for Cano with 3 ground balls. That's going to bring up Jorge Posada.
Everett has been awfully steady at shortstop this year, and making all the plays. You know, the bat hasn't come around for him yet, but he has not allowed that to affect him defensively.
Posada with a single and a ground out. Strike 1. One ball, 1 strike. Posada has one of the 2 hits the Yankees have today. He's singled back in the second. The other was an infield hit by Jeter to start the game. Not too many scoring opportunities against Justin. Drilled to center field, and on his horse, Jackson not going to get this one all the way to the wall. Make it 3 hits now for the Yankees, and Posada has 2 of them. That's a double.
Posada did with that 2-1 fastball what you're supposed to do at the big league level. 2-1. You cheat. You know you're going to get the fastball, even though the velocity is at 96 miles an hour. You've got to get out in front of it, and boy, he had some backspin and some carry on that ball. Jackson couldn't run it down until it stopped rolling.
He's going to bring up Juan Miranda, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. 7 doubles this year now for Posada. Bouncing ball foul. Miranda hit 19 homers, knocked in 87 last year at Strand Wilkes-Barre, their AAA team, and hit a solid 290 as well.
He got nowhere to go. With Teixeira anchored at first base.
Been a few positions on this Yankee team over the years that have not shed much light for guys in the minor leagues. The shortstop position, obviously.
It's one of the reasons why the Tigers were able to get Austin Jackson. Jackson probably could have been playing in the big leagues the last couple of years for some major league teams, but not the Yankees. And they ended up spinning him to the Tigers for Curtis Granderson.
Popped up, back is short. Everett is there. Verlander pitches around the 2-out double. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Damon Ordonez Cabrera on the way. That was Verlander's first hit batter of the year. Now Derek Jeter is okay, remaining in the game. Johnny Damon leads it off as we go to the Tigers half of the 6th. 3-0 in favor of Detroit. Damon Ordonez Cabrera. There's a strike call. Damon has bounced out a couple of times, tried to bunt his way on back in the first. The 0-1 pitch. Back up the middle, and Jeter won't get this one into center field.
Hey fans, all-you-can-eat seats at Comerica Park are now on sale. Located on the upper suite level, seats come with an endless supply of hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken, soft drinks, and more. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Here comes Ordonez. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of grounders. Maglio came in a career .306 hitter against the Yankees with 20 lifetime home runs against them.
Gives you an idea of just how good Maglio's been. Because you know the Yankees always have outstanding pitching staffs and are always winning bunches of games. But it doesn't matter for guys like Maglio, Cabrera. They can hit some of the best. 2,000 career big league hits and beyond for Maglio.
Driven down the left field line. That's a base hit. And for Ordonez, his first hit today. The Tigers have something going now here in the 6th inning.
This should be fun. And nowhere for Sabathia to put Cabrera. First and second, nobody out. The last time up, he took him deep. Looks like a changeup here, circle changeup to the right-handed batter that just gets a little bit too much plate. If you throw that changeup to the right-handers, if you're Sabathia, you want that ball down and away from Maglio, because what you're trying to get is the ground ball to get you the double play, but he left it up. And Maglio was able to single sharply into the left field.
So here comes Cabrera, who homered to the opposite field back in the 4th. 8th home run of the year.
I don't think I've ever seen a right-handed batter have the kind of power that Cabrera has against the traffic. And that would be to right field.
Driven to center field and hit deep. Gardner going back, track, wall, it's up the wall. 1 run scores. Damon is in, right behind him, Maglio. He'll come around and score, and the big fella does it again.
He's just a beast. CeCe's been throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, and Cabrera is a very smart hitter and knows as much, and he's not allowing him to get the first pitch strike over the plate. He's homered the opposite way, and he's hit one 420 feet away from home plate, but look at the leverage with the body. Boy, what a talent.
Cabrera, with his 14th double, has 3 RBIs in this one, 12-game hitting streak. This continues to be red hot this year.
Take one more look at the swing and the finish of Cabrera here. And we always talk about the base of the body, but once he strides, you can draw an imaginary line right down the center of his body. And the bill of his cap is resting comfortably right over his belt buckle, and that's why he's able to do so much damage, because he's always in a really good position to do so.
Here's Brennan Bosch, who homered in his last at bat. He already has a double and a homer in this game. Sabathia came in with an ERA of 3.04, but he's given up 5 runs now. Strike 1 on Bosch.
That table setter, Johnny Damon.
15 multiple hit games this year now for Cabrera, and Jackson has 16 multi-hit games. Oh, 0-2 on Bosch. Tigers now have 8 hits on Sabathia. A bunch of extra base hits. The Bosch double in the homer, the Cabrera double in the homer. Tigers have an opportunity now with a 5-0 lead in their ace on the mound to take 3 out of 4 against the Yankees in this series, with Boston coming to town beginning tomorrow. Hughes foul off the end of the bat. CC came into this one with a 14-10 record lifetime against the Tigers, but his ERA was about 4.5 in 28 career starts.
The only other team that has beaten CC 10 times in the season, the Kansas City Royals. Of course, CC pitching in the same division as Detroit and Kansas City while he was wearing a Cleveland Indians uniform.
Again, the 0-2. Inside and high as Bosch buckles out of the way.
It's a dangerous pitch. I mean, if you're Posada, you're asking for the ball up. And not only are you asking for it up, but you're asking for it in, and which is dangerous.
Check that swing. Didn't go around. That is Brian Runge. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bosch. Clearly held up. Bosch now with 21 hits this year. 3 of those homers. He has 16 RBIs. Wave and a miss, and Sabathia got him that time. CC records strikeout number 4.
Nice deception that time with CC and his body trying to figure out how to get Bosch out, but he sped his body up on that last delivery, and he kind of slowed his arm down. So he gave him a lot of body, which kind of deceived Bosch there into thinking he was going to get a fastball, and he located that slider in a perfect spot.
Here's Brandon Inge. Brandon 0 for 2, fly ball, ground out. Oh and 1 on Inge. Brandon hitless in the series, 0 for 9. The average of 234 now. Flared back out of play. Sabathia this year had received about 7 runs per game, actually a little bit over 7 runs per start this year. But his offense today has been manhandled by Verlander. Justin has allowed just 3 hits to the Yankees. And the 0-2. In the air to center. Gardner is almost in his steps. He'll measure it, and Cabrera holding. 2 outs. Tigers getting back-to-back home runs by Cabrera and Bosch earlier in this game. The last time CC gave up back-to-back homers, August of last year, to Jermaine Dye and Jim Thome.
Those 2 guys got a lot of power, too. Jermaine Dye's still not playing baseball this year, man.
I haven't seen him surface anywhere.
It's a shame.
Well, he's had some offers.
Yeah, he has.
But he has not wanted to take advantage of them.
He has. But still a shame. JD's a good kid and a good baseball player. Hope he doesn't stay home too long. This game is not that easy, especially at the age that Dye is right now, to where you can sit around for a half a year and expect to come back and still be really productive. A little easier for pitchers to do that. We watched Pedro Martinez do that last year, basically stay home for a half a year. Then he signed with the Philadelphia Phillies, made a few minor league starts, and he was good to go.
I assume he's working out and hitting and all that stuff, but that's really no. That doesn't simulate what you would certainly do in game situations.
But the White Sox wish they had Jermaine Dye by right now, though.
Yeah, their offense Not as good as many thought it would be at this point. 1-1 is a ball down low, 2-1. Laird had a check swing single to drive in a run back in the second. He's 1 for 2.
Good hitters count here for G Money. Sit on your fastball.
Swing and a miss.
Change piece at 87 miles an hour. That's what separates guys like CC and Verlander. That's why they shared the major league lead last year with 19 wins. 2-1. You're dialed in for the fastball, and he throws you a changeup. And not only a changeup, but located beautifully on the black outside at the knees.
Missed it inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Laird. Sizemore waiting on deck if Laird were to reach. Tigers got 1 in the second, 2 in the fourth, and 2 here in the sixth on the Cabrera 2-run double. Three-two pitch. Driven to the gap in left center. Down, a base hit. This will get a run in. Laird takes the turn. He's going for 2. The throw is off the mark. Double and an RBI for Gerald Laird.
I've talked about it quite often. When a player is struggling offensively, it really doesn't matter if you've got some really nice numbers against the opposing pitcher that you're going up against on any given day. And Laird came in with a .417 career batting average against Sabathia, and he's driven in a couple of runs today with a couple of base hits.
Laird now 5 RBIs. He's 2 for 3 today. Verlander getting yet more support. Now 6-0 ball game, and here's Sizemore.
It's good that the Tigers have continued to press the issue here against Sabathia, scoring as many runs as they possibly can, because Verlander probably only has 1 more inning in him because he's already in the 90s as far as his pitch count total is concerned.
Sizemore in this game 0 for 2. Hit the ball hard his last time up, but straight at the center fielder Brett Gardner. Here's Sabathia's 1-1. 1-2 now on Scott. Adam Everett on deck.
First time Sabathia's given up 6 runs in a game this year. He gave up 5 earned runs his very first start of the year against the Boston Red Sox.
Drilled to right field. Golston is there to retire the side. Tigers, though, get 3 more runs. When we come back, we'll take a look at one of baseball's legendary performances. last week on May 6th. 19 big league seasons, and he amassed quite a few wins. And a former Spartan attending Michigan State. Robin Roberts, our legendary performance. Tigers lead it here now by a score of 6-0 as we go to the 7th inning. Verlander back to work, and he delivers a strike on Randy Wynn. Been doing that all day long. Wynn, Golson, and Jeter. Ball high to Wynn. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled back out of play.
It sure has been nice to watch the starting pitchers the last 3 games and give the Tigers the kind of length that they need. Porcello pitched 7 innings. Bonderman did as much. And Verlander looking to get through the 7th here as well. That will start to take some of the load off of your bullpen.
Toward left field, Don Kelly, who has entered this game, is a defensive replacement. Can't quite get there.
Tigers bullpen has pitched as much as any bullpen in baseball this year, and Leland said if he's going to keep all those guys fresh and sharp the remainder of the year, then he needed the starts that he has gotten out of his starters the last 3 days.
Missed it outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be possible, really, when you think about it, to continue to lead the league in innings pitched out of your bullpen, even though they've done some terrific work. Maybe, just maybe now, we're starting to see these starters inch deeper in the games, and that'll continue along. I thought Bonderman pitched a really good game yesterday.
Coming into the year, it was the Tigers' strong suit, as Comcast gives us some numbers on Verlander. And if the starters do start to do as well as they have done, and the offense continues to click, it's going to be a fun summer. It's already been a nice spring.
Into left field for Kelly. Wynn is out, 1 gone.
And make no mistake about it, the Tigers have got unfinished business. They spent 164 days in first place last year. 164 days in first place. The Minnesota Twins only spent 8 days in first place, and one of those was the final day of the year.
Action in the Tigers bullpen. Meanwhile, Marcus Thames is pinch hitting here for Greg Golson. Marcus at 350. Fouled back out of play. One ball, 1 strike on Thames. Saw Marcus yesterday down near the locker room. Forgot to ask him about his mom, Vetterine, who used to tune into us all the time when Marcus was a member of the Tigers.
I did it for you today.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
How's she doing?
She's doing outstanding, he said.
Excellent.
I told him that I should have said hi to her, but I told him that she's probably watching the other guys these days.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
Vetterine, special lady. Of course, she's been paralyzed Marcus's entire life, basically. And she adores her baby boy, as most parents do.
And there's a walk. So pinch hit walk for Marcus Thames. 1 on, 1 out. Verlander now has walked 4 in the game. Top of the order now, Derek Jeter. So 4 walks now to go with the 3 hits that Verlander has allowed. He's also hit a batter, and that would be Derek Jeter. Drilled him on the wrist back in the 5th inning. There's a strike on Jeter.
Still throwing hard. 111 pitches into the ball game. Verlander still 97 miles an hour. He's an unbelievable talent. Trust me, not many guys walking around with this kind of ability.
The 0-1 pitch. Make it 0-2.
And make it 98 with the last fastball. And changing eye levels. One at the bottom of the strike zone, the next one at the top of the strike zone. 98 up there is untouchable.
Jeter's in a rough stretch right now. He had a base hit back in the first inning to start this game. It was an infield single, but he's still just 1 for his last 18.
Yeah, let him get on out of town before he gets hot again, because you know it's coming.
7 years of 200 hits or more. Swing and a miss, and Verlander takes care of it.
Wow.
4 strikeouts.
Oh, goodness, Verlander. Quit it.
2 gone.
Back-to-back 97 and above mile-power fastballs, and then he comes back with back-to-back changeups, the second of which Derek could not hold up on.
Here's Brett Gardner with 2 outs. Gardner working on an 0 for 3 today. Still batting .327. Two and 0. It's going to bring Laird out to the mound. Well, as the Yankees prepare to leave town, and here comes Jim Leyland out to the mound. The Red Sox will be coming to town. Clay Buchholz and Max Scherzer tomorrow. Game 1 of that 3-game set. Over the weekend here at the ballpark.
Verlander's last hitter, more than likely. And Jim is going to tell him as much. Come back and get him so I can get you out.
.116 pitches right now total for Verlander. And here they are by inning. Two and 1. Most pitches that Verlander has thrown in a start this year, 125. He did that against the Angels. That was back in L.A. in late April. And the first West Coast swing the Tigers took. Fouled away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Brett Gardner. Right back off of Verlander. It'll roll to the shortstop Everett. He'll have no play, and an infield single for Gardner. That'll put runners at first and second, and Leyland's going to take him out of the game. That's going to be it with Mark Teixeira coming up. The Tigers will be going to the bullpen, and that means Verlander is done for the afternoon. But what a job he did.
We'll get a nice round of applause.
Joel Zamaya will take over, and a standing O for Justin Verlander. been rock solid so far this year. 6-0 in favor of Detroit. The Yankees have 2 on with 2 outs. And Zumaya takes over for Verlander. Mark Teixeira is the first batter he will face. And Zumaya tied for the American League lead. Or actually has the American League lead in 20 innings pitched so far this year.
Zumaya has inherited 10 base runners this year, only 2 of which have come around to score. He's got 2 out there right now. He's trying to strand for Verlander, who was very good today.
Jim Leland was pretty adamant about not pitching Zumaya yesterday to make sure that he gets plenty of rest between his outings, and he is out there today trying to put out the flames here in the 7th.
Joel admitted to me a couple of days ago that he got a little tired in that game against the Yankees, when he needed some help from Phil Coke with the bases loaded and nobody out. And Phil Coke was able to strand 2 of the 3 runners that he was given to when when Zumaya departed. Good outing, Verlander, shaking his head. It's a good day. Good day.
2-2. Teixeira hitless today. He has walked. Trying to pick up Thames at second and Gardner at first.
Teixeira has been an outstanding player since leaving the campus of Georgia Tech.
Shallow left field. Don Kelly is coming on to retire the side, so Zumaya gets the job done. Stretch time here at the ballpark. Everett, Jackson, Damon coming up. Phones with MLB.com at Bat 2010, featuring play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcasts. Visit Tigers.com today for more details. Get the most out of your phone.
I'd like to say hello to the parents of Chad Meyer who are watching at home today. Virgil and Betty Meyer on the field today. Young Chad was honored with his teammates, Adrian Baseball College. Chad died last Friday. He was the third baseman who battled cancer for the last year and a half. And his grandparents are at home watching. His teammates at the ballpark today. So our thoughts and prayers are with the Meyer family here this afternoon.
That's a nice note, Rod. Adrian, very, very good baseball program here in the state of Michigan, and all their fellows out today. So our heartfelt sentiments to them. Here is Ivan Nova. He will take over. So Sabathia is out of the game. Adam Everett leading it off. Tigers lead 6-0. And trying to take 3 out of 4 against these New York Yankees,
which is not easy to do.
Everett pops it up foul, back out of play. To consider, they faced Hughes, they have faced Sabathia, they faced Vasquez, who pitched a whole lot better, and granted, he wasn't pitching well this year. Two and one on Everett.
Mr. Nova making his major league debut here today. Was recalled from AAA Scranton on Monday, where he was 2-0 with a 2.43 earned run average in 6 starts.
Got him, strike 3. And his first big league batter, he strikes out. 1 gone. Bring up Austin Jackson. 4 changes. Marcus Thames stays in the game. He plays at left field. Randy Wynn has moved to right field. Austin today is 0 for 3. Way high. That'll go to the backstop.
Cat looks tall.
Well, they list him at 6'4", 210.
The Yankees draft him big.
23 years old, out of San Cristobal in the Dominican Republic. There's a strike. 1-1 on Jackson.
Looks like he's got a real nice, easy delivery. Pretty good fastball. He's touched 94, 95, and appears to have a pretty good breaking ball as well.
Sabathia went 6 innings. He gives way to Nova here in the 7th. Verlander, meanwhile, another outstanding effort today. That's in the air toward right field. Routine for Wynn. Over toward the line. 2 gone. And that'll bring up Johnny Damon. So Nova 1 out away from going 1-2-3 in his big league debut. Yankees signed him as a free agent back in July of 2004. He's been in their minor league system since. Damon takes strike 1. Johnny started that rally in the 6th inning with a base hit. He then scored on a 2-run double by Cabrera. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Back up the middle. Jeter can't get it into center field. Damon has his 2nd hit today.
Johnny Damon is a difference maker. The Tigers did not know what they were going to do with that 2nd spot in their batting order vacated by Polanco, who left as a free agent to go to Philadelphia. But when Damon was still on the board as spring training approached, and they were able to sign him, and he has been outstanding in that number 2 spot.
Keeps the inning going now for Maglio Ordonez. First pitch outside to Maglio, 1 for 3, had a single, scored a run in the 6th.
Who do you think would have occupied that number 2 spot had they not signed Damon this year?
That's the $64 million question. Because there was, I guess, an inkling because Polanco was your number 2 hitter last year that put Sizemore up there. But then when you think about it, 2 rookies, 1 and 2 in your lineup, that probably wasn't going to go.
It's a great sign by David Dombrowski. And, of course, he had to get the blessing of the owner, Mr. Illich.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, I would have said the same thing that you said. Probably Sizemore would have been the likely candidate, but And I also agree with what you said about having two rookies at the top would have been not your ideal situation.
The 2-1. Ooh, look out. Brookins had to skitter out of the way. He needed some reflexes there. Looked like he's back in 1984.
Doesn't he, though?
Still got those quick reflexes. Boy, that's scary. He's just getting loosened up. 3-2. Damon will be on the move here with 2 outs. And the 3-2 pitch. On the ground, back up the middle into center. Base hit. Damon will go to third. Maglio has his second hit today. Which means Cabrera's going to get another shot with a couple of guys on base.
And the big fella came into play today with a cool .625 batting average against CC Sabathia, and he got loose in the game today as well. He homered to right field. It was a 2-1 fastball, and then his next time up, first pitch swinging, he doubled very deep in the center field, driving a couple of more. So big fella continues to hit the best pitchers in baseball.
Good block there by Posada, the catcher. Well, Cabrera this year is 20 for 40 with men in scoring position, a .500 batting average.
Ooh, it's lethal.
And we're already in the month of May.
Lethal. You can't get him out in the strike zone. Really, you can't.
Came in second in the league in on-base percentage as well at .456.
And now what in the world does Nova do behind in the count?
1 ball, 1 strike.
Located 95-mile-per-hour fastball at the knees, I guess.
That usually works.
Yeah.
1-1. Ground ball to short. Jeter gobbles this one up. They'll get the force to end the inning. Tigers get a couple of base runners. Strand 2. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Tumblers. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Either way will work. And your matchup features Clay Buchholz for the Red Sox and Max Scherzer for Detroit.
It looks like Buchholz has been probably their most consistent starter this year.
I would agree with that. There's a bouncing ball to second base. Sizemore gobbles it up, and A-Rod, 1 pitch, 1 out.
Of course, Boston's got a starting rotation full of studs with Lackey and Beckett and Daisuke and Lester. But Buchholz, who's been more consistent than any of them. Scherzer needs a good outing tomorrow, that's for sure.
Here's Robinson Cano. Cano is 0 for 3. Ground balls all 3 times. Zumaya came on in the 7th, got the final out. He got to Shera, and now he gets A-Rod. 1 ball and no strikes. 11 Tigers hits today. They've out hit the Yankees 11-4, and they lead 6-0. Swing and a miss by Cano. 1 ball, 1 strike. If the Tigers hold on and win this game, Justin Verlander would move to 4-2 and lower his ERA even more. The 1-1. A little bit outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Joe Zamaya's probably got the best fastball on the planet. There are not many guys walking around that throw 100-mile-per-hour fastballs with regularity. And it really doesn't matter which ballpark you're in. It could be here at Comerica Park. It could be Yankee Stadium. It could be Progressive Field. The radar readings are consistent. Triple digits. There you have it. I mean, sometimes you can go to ballparks and some guns are a little high. You know, guys' velocity numbers are a little higher. But that really doesn't matter with Joel.
2 balls, 2 strikes. I think Joel's been as high as 104 is the highest I can remember, and I think that's probably in a hot gun, because 104 is
that's hot.
Yeah, it's almost unhuman. Here's the 2-2. Back him out of there. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Cano.
That's a scary pitch, especially for Cano, because he was drilled on that left knee in their last series in Boston by Beckett on a fastball in the mid-90s.
And Zumaya missed again. That's ball 4. I was wondering if that was ball 4. It said 3-2 on the board. And finally, Cano heads to first base. What's going on with the Tigers player of the game? Courtesy of McDonald's, Cabrera has 58% of the votes so far. Verlander has 19%. Brendan Bosch checking in 3rd place. Brought to you by the McDonald's Deluxe Angus 3rd Pounder. Here's Posada. Zumaya came into this series not having walked a batter all season long. And that walk there now gives him 3 on the season. He's had 3 in the series. Big day for Posada. Single double. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Everett waits on the hop, flips to second, and it's dropped there by Sizemore.
You got to make sure you get one out there. You got to make sure you get one. Everett has not committed an error all year. Will he be given his first? He backed up on it to make sure that he didn't create a tricky hop, and then he flips it to Sizemore, and Sizemore on the run to the bag had to reach back forward and hit the glove and fell to the dirt.
There's Juan Miranda. Looking at that replay, I would think it would be an error on Everett, don't you think?
That's probably what I would do.
The ball was tailing on, or his throw was tailing on Sizemore. We'll see. Still waiting on the official call on that play. 1-0 on Miranda. Fouled away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Miranda with a pop-up and a fly ball. He's also walked. Tigers got 1 in the second, 2 more in the fourth, and they broke it open a bit with 3 in the sixth. Chasing CC Sabathia. Fouled away again. We're giving the error to the second baseman, Scott Sizemore. Fielder's choice, E4. I assume that's how the ruling will go. And it is. Second error of the game for the Tigers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2. Popped him up. Ainge appears to have room. Third base side. He's drifting. He's there. 2 gone now. And that leaves it up to Randy Wynn. Tigers with a victory today would win their 20th game of the season. Wynn is 0 for 2. Slap foul back out of play. And if the Yankees fail to come back in this game, this would only be the second series that they've lost all year. Tigers handed Minnesota their first series loss at Comerica Park in the last homestand. Their previous series loss was to the Angels. I'm talking about the Yankees now. Here's the 0-1 to Win. 0-2. Can't get around to that fastball at 101 from Zelaya. Now the 0-2 pitch. For a day that started out having everybody wondering if we would play this afternoon with all the rain this morning here in the Motor City, a crowd of better than 31,000 for this one. Turned out to be a nice gathering, even though it's a chilly afternoon here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Driven toward left field. Kelly is on the run. Still going back to the track, to the wall. He makes the catch, hits the wall, and holds on.
Nice recovery by Kelly.
Don Kelly into the wall in left field. Holds on to the baseball. Wallside Windows. For a free in-home estimate, call 1-800-521-7800. And buy Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Here is the Comerica game summary with the Tigers leading at 6-0 in this one. Cabrera double homer, 3 RBIs. Brendan Bosch, another big game for Detroit. And Justin Verlander, really good today. He did walk 4, but he struck out 4 and did not give up a run to the Yankees.
Two big fellas are smiling. What a play here by Kelly. He got turned around momentarily, but he was able to recover. And you can see him with that right hand out, bracing himself for the collision with the wall. A nice job there by Kelly.
Don leads it off here in the 8th inning. He'll be followed by Inge and Laird.
Most of Kelly's work this year has come as a defensive replacement. Few starts.
Nova back out there. Ivan Nova in his big league debut. Gave up a couple of hits in the 7th. No damage, though. That stroke to center field. Gardner cruising over. One out here in the 8th. This is Brandon Inge. He is 0 for 3. Ball 1 to Brandon. Inge today is 0 for 3. A couple of fly balls. He's also grounded out. Now the 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes to Brandon.
No doubt Brandon will be taking here. 6-run lead in the 8th. A 3-0 pitch. You don't swing.
Nova was leading his team, his AAA team, Strand Wilkes-Barre, in strikeouts prior to the call-up. He had 32 in 37 innings. Ground ball hit to short. Cheater on the backhand. 2 gone. How about the Home Depot doing more on defense? Gerald Laird made a terrific play earlier in the game.
And needed to do as much with Gardner running down the line with exceptional speed. He grabbed it, he braced himself, he made sure he planted on that right foot, and he fired a seed to Cabrera. Nice footwork as well. He was starting to shift his feet to get in position to throw as he was surrounding that baseball to pick it up with a bare hand.
Cano handles this one. Laird is out. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers. We are headed to the 9th. Tigers trying to take 3 out of 4 in this series. And that sounds intriguing. Apparently, the Tigers are not the only team that Luke Scott can hurt. He has killed the Tigers.
Trevor Thompson kicking it into Sam's studio with all the highlights, watching all the games, keeping us all up to date.
Last call here for the Yankees as we go to the ninth inning in a 6-0 ball game. Tigers have made a pitching change. It is one of the newest Mohawks. It's Eddie Bonine.
Oh, no. What is that?
Some bad dudes, man.
Oh, man.
I know it's good for team unity. And that's certainly why they did it. But Bonine, one of the Tigers, sporting a new Mohawk. There's a ground ball foul off the bat of Marcus Thames. We were talking to Alex Avila before the game and how this whole Mohawk thing got started. And it was Papa Grande who said, you know what, we should do this.
But he didn't do it.
I'll do it, he said, if you guys will all do it. So all the guys did it. And we asked him, did Papa Grande do it? Nope.
That is cold.
He suckered him.
That is cold.
And I said to Alex, I said, well, you know, you guys going to do anything about that? He goes, look at the size of that guy. Okay.
That's cold.
Papa Grande, whatever you want. So Jose got away with it.
Well, it's a good thing most of them are married that got it, because they ain't going to get a whole lot of action with them haircuts.
Swing and a miss. And one gone here in the ninth. He's going to bring up Derek Jeter. And Jeter probably happy to be leaving town here. He has not done well in this series. Only one infield hit in this entire series. 1 for 16 to be exact. Bonine misses high, 1-0. Get out his hands. Everett, tough play. Got him. Adam Everett taking a hit away from Derek Jeter. 2 gone.
Watching a couple of really good shortstops here in action. And take a look at the footwork here by Everett. He knows Jeter's running, so he knows he has time to surround this baseball and sort of get his momentum, carrying him to where he could make an off-balance throw, but get enough on the throw to get a speedy runner in Derek Jeter.
Brett Gardner, their last chance, and he takes a strike. 6-0 Tigers. A dominant performance today for Detroit. Only 4 hits for this Yankees team. And 1 out away from taking 3 of 4.
Really, pitching has dominated the entire series.
Two and one. Gardner had a base hit back in the 7th. One of the 4 that the Yankees have had. 1 out away from the 20th victory of the season for the Tigers. And they could get to 5 over the 500 mark. 3-1. Got the beefy part of the lineup coming up. Teixeira, A-Rod, don't want to deal with them. Bonine goes after Gardner and throws a strike. 3-2. 31,000 plus on their feet. And a fly ball. Right field. Jackson calling off Ordonez. Tigers win 3 of 4 from the Yankees. An impressive 6-0 victory here today. And the last time the Yankees were shut out twice in a series, 1999.
Doesn't happen very often.
Well, the Angels did it. Joe Girardi and the Yanks will leave town having dropped 3 of 4. There's your final 6-0.